Hey friends, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Tiffany. Today's video is going to be a what's for dinner video where I share with you a week of meals that our family eat. We are a family of 4. There's my husband, myself, and then we have a 14-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter. I am type 2 diabetic, so I try to eat higher protein, lower carb. It doesn't always, I don't like make separate meals all the time or anything like that. I try to eat what everyone else is eating within moderation. And I am on a GLP-1, so that does affect my appetite. It slows down my digestion, so I eat smaller portions. So let's go ahead and jump into meals for the week. It's actually currently Monday. I usually start these on Sunday night. Yesterday we had leftover ham and lentil stew, which was from Saturday, so I didn't show that. It was just leftovers. So tonight we are doing a chicken stir fry with veggies and rice. So I'm gonna get that. I was gonna do it on the stovetop, just like fry up everything in a skillet, but I think I'm gonna throw the chicken into the crock pot with the stir fry sauce and veggies, and then just shred the chicken and serve it all over rice that way. Instead of cubed chicken, we'll have shredded chicken, just because it'll be a little bit easier. So come with me. I'm gonna get that ready in the crock pot, and we'll make the rice as it gets closer to dinner time in the Instant Pot, and that will be dinner tonight. Alright, so I've got my crock pot liner in. I've got 2 chicken breasts that we're going to use. They're pretty large. They're just from a Walmart family pack. And then the sauce I'm using is the G. Hughes sugar-free stir-fry sauce and a bag of stir-fry mixed vegetables from Sam's Club. So that'll all go in the crock pot and cook on high for about 4 hours. It's currently about 2 o'clock. So we'll be eating dinner a little bit later than normal. We usually eat between 4 and 5. But with it being already 2, this needs to cook for a while. Super easy, dump and go. And then, like I said, I'll make the rice in the Instant Pot right before serving dinner. Alright, so I just put some rice into the Instant Pot and then water over top of that, 3 tablespoons of butter. I didn't measure, I just eyeball everything. And then it's going to go into the Instant Pot for the rice setting, which happens to be low pressure 12 minutes. Once that's done, I'll let it manually, or natural pressure release for a few minutes, and then rice will be done. I need to shred the chicken. Ooh, warm. Alright, here's what it looks like served up. I am loving these little short, wide bowls from Walmart. They're 50 cents, but they're great for layered dishes like rice bowls and stuff like this, or pasta. So we've been using them a lot lately, but this is Will's bowl. I'm going to go ahead and get everybody else served up, but just rice on the bottom and then the chicken and vegetables and stir-fry sauce on top. So that'll be dinner for Monday night, and we will see you again tomorrow. Hey friends, it is Tuesday night. Dinner today is going to be kind of weird. The meal plan was supposed to be oven burgers and french fries, but that's being postponed because Will ate while he was at work, which is very uncommon, but he was at a Buc-ee's in the area and he got a burrito from there. Anyway, so he ate kind of late at work. The kids all had, I say all because Alice has a friend over right now. They wanted Taco Bell for lunch, so while I ran an errand to Walmart to pick up a few things that I needed before our next grocery order comes in on Thursday, we picked up Taco Bell for them. So they had Taco Bell around 3 p.m., which kind of threw them off of wanting dinner anytime soon. So I am actually having some quick oats. I did overnight oats in the fridge last night using about 3/4 cup of these Great Value Quick Oats, 1 of these Premier Protein cake batter protein shakes, and then a tablespoon of chia seeds. So that's what's in here. And I just warmed that up, and I'm gonna eat that for my dinner. And I don't know what else we are gonna have tonight. It's currently 5:30, so it's dinner time. I'll show you if we eat anything of substance anymore this evening. I'm sure we'll eat, especially Will, he'll want something, but I don't know what. And Jackson will probably want something else too. So anyway, that's our Tuesday. Very weird and wonky, not the norm. But we will have a meal tomorrow, and then I moved the burgers to Thursday night. Tomorrow's a Crockpot meal. You'll see that though. Alright friends, it is Wednesday. We are having Hawaiian Crockpot pork chops, and we'll have that with rice and broccoli. This tends to be like my go-to, is like something with rice and broccoli lately. So I'm going to make up the marinade right now, and we're just going to pour it over top of some thick cut boneless skinless pork chops that'll go directly into the Crockpot. So the base of this sauce is soy sauce. I'm going to do the rest of what's in this bottle. That's probably about all I need. And then a scoop. How much is a scoop? Probably a tablespoon or two of garlic. Got about a third cup of ketchup, or a quarter cup of ketchup. Need about, what's the recipe say? Recipe says third cup of brown sugar. If you're wanting to, I usually just eyeball things, but I do have the recipe pulled up in front of me, so I'm not measuring it, but I'm eyeballing the measurements and sharing the actual measurements with you. That's what I'm trying to say. My brown sugar is getting a little hard. And then, the original recipe does not call for this, but I'm going to put a little bit of ginger in it. I like the taste of ginger and soy together. Just mix that up. And then we're going to bring the Crockpot basin over. Put our pork chops in. These are really thick. They are from Sam's Club. Their pork chops tend to be pretty thick cut. And then pour your sauce over top. And last but not least, you can leave this part out, is pineapple. I'm using about half a can of tidbits because that's what I had left in the fridge. And then this is going to go in the Crockpot part, the heater part. And I'm going to do high for about 4 to 5 hours. Alright, it's time to make rice. I use the Instant Pot. I've got just some long grain white rice in here with about 3 tablespoons of butter and water. I'm going to put the lid on. Make sure it's not vented, and then I hit the rice button. And that'll be rice to go along with dinner. Alright, I'm going to make a slurry out of about a half cup of water and some cornstarch to thicken up the liquid in the Crockpot. But first, I'm going to pull the pork chops out carefully because they will fall apart. They're that tender. But in order to make the sauce, I want to be able to stir it appropriately, so having the pork chops in there makes it a little bit hard. So, pork, woo, steaming up the camera. And then, just eyeballing things. Stir until that is incorporated. And then I've got my Crockpot here. Just gonna pour that in. And that'll thicken a bit. And I'm also gonna just put the meat back into it. And then it's fogging up my lens. We will serve this over the rice that I'm making, and I need to get some broccoli out of the freezer and cook that in the microwave. So the broccoli is out of the microwave. I seasoned it with some Morton Nature Seasons, which this has salt, black pepper, onion, garlic, parsley, celery, all that mixed in. And then I also sprinkled some of the like bottled Parmesan shaker cheese onto it as well. I said as well twice. Just waiting on the rice, but the sauce has thickened up a little bit. It's not like thick, but it's not as watery as it was. And then I will assemble plates. All right, here's Will's plate. We've got the Instant Pot rice with some of the marinade and like pineapple mixture over top, pork chop, and then the seasoned cooked broccoli. So that'll be dinner for tonight, Wednesday, and we'll see you again with tomorrow's meal. I know this is not part of dinner, but Alice is making dessert for tonight. It's still Wednesday. Go ahead and open that. We are making Oreo baked cheesecake brownies. So that's what all of this conglomeration of stuff is out for. Brownies just came out of the oven. We're gonna let them cool down before cutting into them. That way they can kind of set up a little bit and they don't fall apart when we cut them. But they smell delicious and we can't wait to try them. All right, it's Thursday night. Alice and I are about to leave the house. I'm taking her roller skating with her friend, but I wanted to get dinner done before we left. So I'm putting 4 of these ground sirloin burgers from Sam's Club into the oven, 425 degrees, for about 25 to 30 minutes until done. So those will go in, and then we're also gonna have extra crispy fast food fries. I don't know if we're gonna eat before we go skating or if we're gonna eat when we get back. It depends on when these get done and how much time we have before we have to leave. We have to be out of the house in less than an hour, so Alice is getting ready right now. Anyway, all that to say, Will just got home from work, so he's going to be hungry, so I wanted to get it done before we left. So I'm just waiting for the oven to preheat, and then I will put these in, and then we've got cheese and toppings and stuff like that to go with it. And then the fries I'm going to cook in the air fryer. Those go in for about 10 minutes. These are really good. They do remind me of like McDonald's fries. If you like McDonald's fries, I definitely recommend giving them a try. The air fryer, I think they go in for like 10 minutes. So super quick and easy. Burgers are out of the oven. They turned out perfectly fine. So we're gonna go ahead and I've got funny restaurant style buns and everyone can make their own burger. It is Friday, which means either leftovers, fend for yourself, or frozen pizza. Jackson is opting to fend for himself. So he's having 2 Hot Pockets, just the pepperoni pizza Hot Pockets, and then a bowl of fruit, which has 1 Cosmic Crisp apple and some Autumn Crisp grapes. Alice also had 2 Hot Pockets, but she's already sitting down eating them. So that's what the kids are having. I think there should be enough, I know there's enough leftovers for Will to eat. Leftover pork chops, what was it? Hawaiian pork chops and rice. So that's in there. And then I don't know what I'm gonna have yet. To be determined. Okay, so Will actually ate at work. They had pizza for everybody, so he's not hungry. I am going to have this is the only thing that sounded good. My GLP-1 injection day was yesterday, so my appetite's kind of wonky right now. I got these Ben's Original Street Food from Ollie's for $1.99. They're still within date, so perfectly fine. This is the Jamaican jerk style red beans and rice with chicken. So I just microwaved that. And then I added about 2 tablespoons of queso cheese and some Taco Bell hot sauce or fire sauce. Mixed it all up, and I'm gonna throw it in one of these carb counter tortillas. This has 14 grams of protein. This probably doesn't really have any protein. Well, that's in one, yeah. So 14 in here and another 4 grams of protein in the wrap. But the nice thing about these wraps is the fiber count. There's 12 grams of fiber in it, which is how it offsets the carbs and makes it a 0 net carb per serving. So that'll be my dinner tonight. Kids already ate, like I said, and Will is not eating right now. If he eats something shortly, I'll record it. If not, we will see you tomorrow for a new recipe. New to me, I've never made it. It's a cheesy beef gnocchi skillet. So anyway, dinner for tonight. It's 7:30. It's still Friday. It's time for second dinner for the kids. Jackson is requesting a chicken sandwich. So we use these Banquet Mega Fillets. If you watch our grocery hauls, you know we get those pretty much every week. Pop it in the air fryer, 400 degrees for 10 minutes, and you've got a nice crispy chicken. On his sandwich, he uses a slice of provolone cheese and honey barbecue sauce, just all on a hamburger bun. Alice wants cottage cheese with crushed pineapple and a little bit of cheesecake jello mixed in. So it's kind of like a pineapple cheesecake sort of flavor. So I'll get those made up and show you. How is your pineapple cheesecake fluff stuff? Is it good? Yeah. Tastes kind of like another recipe that I make, but completely different ingredients, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Do you want to show them your loony bird? I know this isn't a vlog, but... So she hand sewed, like cut out a pattern on her own, sewed this together, stuffed it with polyfill and rice. This is Looney Bird from the Rock of Fire Explosion animatronic band at Billy Bob's Wonderland.
This is the version from the new Rock of Fire. It's not the original one. The original one you only see as like neck up and sometimes his hands and different animatronics.
Yeah, but he's in a lab coat. She did like feathers around his face. We were waiting on the fur to come in the mail today, so that's the hand or the crafting fur that she used to make his body. Very good, very good. Oh, and the face she crafted out of polymer baking clay, and then painted it, sprayed it with an acrylic to protect the paint. Looks really good, and that's what's for dinner.
No.
And sandwich is done, nice and crispy. He likes it just kind of plain with just cheese and barbecue sauce, sometimes lettuce, but this is his go-to. Hey friends, it is Sunday. We skipped Saturday's dinners. Saturday went by in a blur. I napped a lot. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I didn't make dinner last night. Everyone fended for themselves. I don't even know what everyone ate. Will had leftover pork chops. That much I do know. Tonight I'm making a cheesy gnocchi ground beef thing. It's supposed to be done in a skillet, but I'm modifying it to do in the crock pot because I don't feel like standing in the kitchen for too long. So I currently have 1 pound of ground turkey frying on the stove top. This is a pound for a different meal, but I just pulled it out to show the ingredients. You'll need, let me see. So 1 pound of ground beef or ground turkey, onions and peppers. I'm using the seasoning blend from Great Value from Walmart. You will need a can of diced tomatoes, minced garlic, 3/4 cup of heavy cream, chicken broth. You need 1/3 cup. I'm looking at the recipe as I look over here. And then once everything comes together, you top it with Parmesan cheese, which I still have in the refrigerator. So I'm just going to get things going and kind of show you what it looks like and hope that it turns out in the crock pot. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I'm just going to start dumping ingredients. We've got the seasoning blend, the can of tomatoes. Gonna put in a few tablespoons of garlic. We need 1/3 cup of chicken broth. I'm actually gonna use a 1/2 cup. With it being a crock pot recipe, things will be sitting a little bit longer. 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And then the gnocchi. I love this Rana skillet gnocchi from, I get it at Walmart, but it's the best gnocchi that I've found. Works great in recipes for skillet or stovetop. And then I'm waiting on the ground beef to finish, or ground turkey to finish. So I'll add that in a minute and then we'll stir all this up. I feel like I'm gonna need more liquid. Peppers and onions are clumping because they're frozen. I guess the frozen veggies will let off some liquid, so I'll just stick with this for now and see how it goes, and then I might add more chicken broth to it. But let's put it on high for the next 2 hours or so, and then I'll give it a check. Alright, it's been about 1.5 hours, and I didn't have to add any more liquid, and it looks like it's doing okay. I am going to throw in the bag of Parmesan cheese at this point so it has time to melt in with everything. It's just a 6-ounce bag, shredded Parmesan from Kroger. that all incorporated. And since everything is cooked, you're really just waiting for like everything to warm up, the gnocchi to absorb some of the liquid, and the cheese to melt. So we'll be able to eat this soon. It looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. So I'm glad I switched it to a Crockpot recipe. You can also do it in a skillet. This just seemed easier to me. Alright, dinner is done. We're going to go ahead and eat. I feel like it needs a little green garnish of some sort, but I don't have anything, so it doesn't matter. This will be dinner for tonight, and it tastes good. I hope everyone else likes it, but I enjoyed from what I tried. So I'm going to go ahead and get everyone served up. And this will be our what's for dinner this week. Thank you for coming along on a weird few fend for yourself nights dinner week. Drop a comment down below. Love to see you down in the comments. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye.